digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. And Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise a banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. This is new from StreamYard. You actually can have the comments come up on the stream. That's a good idea.
I just
I
noticed.
like
I was like,
Huh?
what?
What? Yeah, I like that. You can turn it on and you can take it off. There you go. Right. How are we all? StreamYard always surprises me, but big up. Welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham past, present, future, under the mighty ANGE Postecoglou, as we go for European glory tomorrow night and become legends like we did in 1984 when the mighty Tottenham Hotspur beat Anderlecht on penalties with a second-rate team, as we did beat that team that night. Where were Man United in 84? What did they win in 84? Man United won the FA Cup, I think, in 84, didn't you?
Well, I wasn't
Or was
even
it 83?
a twinkle in my dad's eye at that point.
Well, I was 7 in 84, and I do remember 84 very well. Look, how are you, Rebel? We're 24 hours from the big game. 24 hours time. This game will be 4 minutes old. Nervous? By any way?
Nervous? Not really. We're losing.
Yeah, do you know what? It's funny, isn't it? I bet you tomorrow morning now you're going to be so optimistic. Tomorrow, do you know? How does this differ from other European finals? So you're in the Europa League final. What in 2018?
The last
20
Europa League final, we lost to Villarreal.
I thought you beat Villa. I thought that was Mourinho, and you won that.
No, we were actually in another final since then. We were in a final against Villarreal, and we lost 2-1, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, well, you're gonna lose tomorrow night. You do know that, don't you?
I think me and Colin have been telling you this for the last
Oh,
fortnight at this
the
point.
Spurs go marching in. See, I'm
Uh,
already getting in. I'm already getting in the
Dermot,
mood for it already.
let me explain something to you about that Manchester United team. We are absolutely crap this
I know
season.
you are. I know you are.
We
So are we.
are pale shadow of anything that resembles anybody that could be wearing this shirt.
Can I just want to stop you there, Rebel, right? Both our clubs have been shit this season. But what a way to end the season by winning Europa League.
But you're winning it.
Yeah, but if anyone said to you at the start of the season, you're going to have a shit season, but you're going to reach your Europa League final, would you have bitten the hand off for it?
If I thought we had a chance of winning it, yeah.
Yeah, don't start. This is bullshit. Don't start this bullshit. I'm sorry. Monetizing's gone out the window. Don't come on here with these mind games, right? And these mind games that, oh, you're going to put me into a you're going to lead me into a little bit, believing that you're going to lose. Look, you got enough of a chance to win as we do, but we're winning tomorrow night.
Yeah. Absolutely. 110%.
You're doing all these. I like this comment from Tequila. Actually, I know I got told off by Colin the other day. He says Dermot doesn't even monetize shows anymore. He said he knows there's no point. F bombs every other word. That is so true. I did monetize this show, by the way, Tequila. How long
Can I
that
ask
lasted?
you one quick question, though?
Yeah.
And I might be stepping on your toes a bit, but I only came across it, I think it was about 8.5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But Bergville's out.
I know. He's been out for weeks. There's no way he's going to play in that final. The one that I have a sneaky feeling on is actually James Maddison. I have a sneaky feeling he's going to be on the bench tomorrow night.
Have you named your squad yet? Your 20?
I have. I've done our predicted lineup. I've done columns.
No, what I mean is, have you actually had your squad named?
Yeah,
'Cause United squad
James
came out.
Maddison's in the squad.
He'll play, so if he's in the squad, he's playing.
Yeah. As far as I know, he's in the squad. I just got a little bit of news, guys. ANGE's press conference, which I did watch today, appeared very cagey, not giving away the team. And they had the barbecue in Madrid as a bonding exercise. I think that's a good idea, actually. I think the team coming out 2 days early as well is a good idea. How come United never did that? Do you think, why have United not come out 2 days early? Tottenham did. And I think it was a very good idea by Ange to bring the team out a day early.
They weren't prepared to spend the money.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're in, aren't you? I forgot that.
And number two, I think every minute that was available to them should have been spent on the training pitch. I don't think at this point United could afford, if they want to have any sniff of a chance of giving you a match, not to be doing anything but going full blown into training. But I do want to ask you about one thing. Ange did get rather snarky at one member of the journal.
Yeah, about I'm not a clown.
Yeah.
Now, I know a certain gentleman in our chat has been calling him a clown.
Does his name start with T?
Yeah, I just wonder, right, has he been watching our shows? I wonder if he's a big fan of THFC Till We Die. I don't know. It's just very funny that he come out, I'm not a clown. And we know he is a clown. He's been a clown all season, for fuck's sake, like. Oh, no, there goes an F-bomb. I know. Tequila's there, right? Tequila's on there going, right, that's that show not monetized. That show's not monetized. That show's not monetized. Anyway, big up to everyone. Oh, look, Tequila goes, oh, yeah, it's very much a clown. Ange's been watching the shows. Yeah, he has been, Tequila.
Speaking of clowning around, I am seeing in the wee chat that someone has mentioned that while you're supposed to be preparing for a final, that wonderful pillar society that is your Argentinian centre-back has apparently been negotiating his next team.
I think that, I don't believe that. I'd be very surprised if he has done that. Do you think a player would do that in an eve of a major European final?
If it was one of ours, I definitely believe it. especially if it's one of our top 5 shitbags.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes is one.
Actually, do you know what? He gets a lot of slack, but I think he would actually, anything to do with an exit, I think he does correctly. If it was anyone, I'd see the likes of a Rashford or some of the problem children within our squad doing it. But to be fair to Maguire, Bruno, they get a lot of slack in the kind of the public forum from fan bases. But I think, to be fair to them, they're good quality professionals.
Yeah, they are. I just want to welcome a few people in. Big up to Michael McDonald. Says there's no doubt Ange Wilder. I did change the title of the show, by the way, under your suggestion. By the way, I did. I actually changed the whole thumbnail. So under your suggestion, I changed it. So thank you. There's no doubt Ange will do it. Of course he will, because he's the mighty Tottenham Hotspur manager and we're going to European glory. The question is, will all the doubters apologise and give the support at the beginning of a successful league campaign? Look, all we want Tottenham to be successful. I know Tequila and everyone on this channel just wants Spurs to be successful. We call it as we see it. We've always done that. And I think Tequila, to be fair to him, has, I'm not speaking for him, but I will stand up and applaud him. He stuck to his values. He stuck to his opinion. And that's all you can do as a Spurs fan. That's all you can do is support the team in the best way you can. And I know tomorrow night he's putting that to one side and he will support the team. We'll be all supporting the team. You have your doubts over the Glazers and Jim Ratcliffe and whatever doubts you have about whoever you have at the club. But you will put that aside tomorrow night, you and Colin, and support United. So, yeah.
But we're still not winning.
Oh, don't start, please. This is mind games. Don't start. Don't start, you git. Don't start, you git. Right. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. What shirt are you all wearing for the? I'm wearing this tomorrow. I'm wearing this tomorrow. Yeah, this is a shirt I'm wearing tomorrow. I know I've worn this for every game this season in the Europa League run. So I ain't changing it now. We ain't winning it. We're shit. I still don't believe you two. I still don't believe. Big up, Colin. Big up, lads. Big up to Mr. T. Big up to the big T in the house. He does everything behind he does everything in the background. This channel wouldn't work without the big T. Big up to you, Tequila. We've got Wayne Bonner. Big up, Tequila. You're watching the game tomorrow. There's certainly a big question if the clown. There certainly is a big question if the clown will do it. There is a 50-50 chance game to me. Both teams are poor. Yeah, that's true. Big up Wayne, probably be on Derma show watching live if he can get me a German stream. Well, look, I'll get you a stream. Don't worry about that.
Isn't it free to air tomorrow?
It is on free to air tomorrow. Yeah, you just got to set up a Discovery Plus account, and it's live on Discovery Plus. That's all you got to do, Tequila. Big up to Mr. David Clark. He says hi from Leicester. I hope everyone in the chat as well. Can we play you every week? Yeah, can we play Man United every week? That'd be lovely. 4 out of 4. We own Manchester. 9 games this season. We've won 8 and lost 1.
Well, which is exactly why you're winning the Europa League.
Yeah, we own the red side of Manchester as ours. As I would say, Manchester United are our bitch. They do what we tell them to do. That's going to come back and haunt me tomorrow. I know that. I know that comment's going to come back and haunt me. You're sitting there, right, like the cat that's got the cream, that you know something, but you won't let on what you know. You just make me a bit nervous now.
I'm doing nothing.
You're doing nothing, are you? Yeah. This is a carrier cork man. Never trust them. They're always up to something. Must be German or any other kind. I refuse to use it. Wayne is saying it is. Yeah, they are showing it free on there tomorrow. Big up to the Iceman. It says, big up Optimus Dermatron. Big up Iceman. Hope you're doing well. I love the nickname. Big up. Big up to you. I don't think Rebel understands the shitness of Spurs this season. Dermal doesn't even monetize shows anymore. We've been through that bit. Big up to Boris Tequila. Exactly. The swear jar is already back full after using it on the trip to last week against Palace. Yeah, I was swearing quite a lot that game, to believe me. We've got Spods have. Oh, don't start now. Don't start now.
Moving right along.
Yeah, don't. No, don't. Too early yet. Big up to Brenny, the Arsenal legend. Big up, Brenny. Evening, you legends. You're a legend, man. Big up, Brenny. Hope you're doing well, Sam. We'll definitely get you one over the summer. I know you might be doing a League One watch along with Bobby on Sunday. I might pop on just to cause a little bit of havoc because I know you two are supporting opposite teams. You never know. Might just pop on. Big up to David. How the hell is a German referee officiate a European Cup final when he was banned? We are going to start talking about that, David. I've got that done. The key
Don't
says,
worry, Dan Levy has the brown envelope full.
Pardon?
Dan Levy, remember to put the cash in the brown envelope this time. It's
Yeah,
all good.
yeah, we all know the Glazers have done that already. I've heard the police had to be called to remove Dermot from the go-kart tracks. I'm saying nothing, Tequila. Saying nothing. Whatever you heard might be or might not be true. Big up Iceman, never reverse psychology, Dermo. Don't listen to him. Yeah, I know it is Iceman. It is reverse psychology. I know, I can see it in him. He's a Kerry man. What do you expect from a Kerry man? Kerry men use reverse psychology to get what they want. Like Cork people as well. It's all reverse. Us in Wexford, we're very simple people. We're very simple people in Wexford.
We're not winning the All-Ireland football either, by the way. I'll just say that now.
Well, I know we're not winning it either. I can guarantee you we're not winning that either. We lost to that. There's no hell's chance us winning it. It's very much a clown. They called him a clown. They called him a clown in the paper and said journalists. So hit back against the journalists. Fair play to him. Who else is saying? Big up to James. Big up. It says evening, gents. Evening, Jimbo. How you doing? Well. Big up to Giant 68. Big up, guys. Big up, Giant 68. Hope you're doing well. Big up to Mr. Column as well. He says, we ain't winning it. We're shit. So we, and I agree with Column. We're worse. Look, we can have an argument about that tomorrow night. All right. Who's worse? But we haven't been great all season. I have my 125-year Spurs shirt to wear tomorrow. Good man yourself, Giant. Send pictures into the WhatsApp group if you are part of the WhatsApp group. Big up to Niall O'Connor. Big up, Niall. Hope you're doing well. It says, big up, boys. Come on, you Spurs. Exactly. Big up to Wayne Bonner. I would never wear a mount on my back. You never know who's behind you. Could take
Wayne.
That is good, actually. Oh, hell's bells.
Gold star for Wayne.
Yeah, it is. I have an app for Android, which is free to watch. Big up to you, Iceman. Hope you're doing well. We have more chance of winning the Prem this season than winning the game tomorrow. That's impossible. You can't own Manchester because a small price club can't afford now $7.5 billion cost. Well, we do own Manchester because we own the blue side. Maybe do we own the blue side or the red side? We own the red side. We had to let the blue side have a little bit of their Manchester, but we do own the red side. And when we beat you tomorrow, we're going to completely own you. And we'll be going up there next season. So we want red carpets. We want open top bus paraded through Manchester. We want petals thrown on the ground as the team goes up there.
I think we should just skip the game and give it the trophy now.
Yeah, just give us a trophy now. Yeah. Get yeah. Yeah, just give us to now. Let's get the game over. Paper bags are your friends, Wayne Bonner. Would you know, just see what columns put in? We'd love to come on in the summer, mate. I will be doing a watch along if I don't go to Wembley. Oh, well, listen, if you do go to Wembley, hope you do. Is it Leyton Orient, Brenny? Well, listen, come on, Leyton Orient. Let's get to Wembley. And Colin says you don't even know. No, I don't, but somebody will soon. Do you know what I saw the other day? I saw tonight, Rebel, was a picture of Daniel Levy walking to the ground with his wife. And I didn't know his wife was unwell.
Is she?
Yeah. Well, she looked I'll send you the video, but it was very much, she didn't look well. So do you think this is why he could be thinking of selling as well?
Well, I think just kind of to briefly cut into some physical kind of breakdowns. Whether Dan Levy sells or doesn't sell his stakeholding in Tottenham, is probably incidental because his little portion is not a controlling stake and is not a decision-making stake. So if he chooses to get out, it might be for family reasons, but I don't think him selling his portion would make any difference. It's obviously your larger corporate is the big issue there.
Yeah, I've sent it in a private chat to two people what I think she had. I'm not going to say it, but I have a funny feeling for what I saw. It is what it is. I'll send it to you as well, Kev, so you can be able to yeah, but she didn't look well, bless her. To be fair to her. Where's Kevin? Yeah, for what? Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thoughts with Daniel Levy, if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I did see a video of him walk. I think it was up on YouTube on one of the shorts, and I seen him walking in with his wife. And for what I could see, it was what I just sent you. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just my assumption. I'll send you the I'll show you the clip after the stream, Rebel.
No worries.
All right, and see what you think. Right. Yeah, no, that's fair enough, Tequila. Look, fair enough, man. No problem. Send you a link if you want to jump on and get your pre-game thoughts. Well, Rebel, this is the man that's causing all the issues. It is German referee Felix Azamwaya, who has previously served a 6-month ban due to his involvement in match fixing scandal. And he was the VAR man that gave the penalty against us in the 2019 Champions League final. Are you happy that a corrupt referee is in charge of a European final? Because I'm not. I don't think there should be. If he's been banned for involvement in match fixing, then he should never be allowed to referee again. So how come UEFA have allowed an official who's been done for match fixing be allowed to officiate? It shouldn't be allowed, should it?
It's an interesting one because we've seen other referees, Mr. Coote, for example, who hasn't been involved in match fixing, but obviously brought the game into disrepute, and he's no longer able to work in European football.
Yeah.
And if you were to kind of take match fixing for what it is bringing the game into disrepute. So you would imagine that the punishment should have been the same as for Mr. Coote, i.e., you will never ever again work as a referee. Now, what's to say that Mr. Coote won't be back in 5 years' time? Who knows? But I think when you think about his record, he's had 2 matches where he was in charge of Tottenham. 1 draw, 1 defeat. And for Manchester United, 4 matches, 2 wins, 2 draws.
Yeah. I mean, I did put in the Tottenham games he has refereed for us. Of course, 2019, it was a 4-2 defeat to Barcelona. And then in 2015-16, it was the away 1-1 draw with Fiorentina, the Italian side. But it still begs the question, though, Rebel, with a 6-month ban due to involvement in match fixing, should he be in charge of the European final? I don't think he should be. And again, is this UEFA? Again, not doing their job properly, or is it a case it is what it is?
So we're talking about an incident that took place back in 2005.
Yeah.
So he's 43 now, so that would make him 23 at the time. So
Makes
I'd
no difference.
I'd imagine what they're looking at there is that he began officiating. So it was actually one of his first games. He accepted a €300 bribe back at the time for whatever result or whatever card it was that he wanted. But like, if you are seen as corrupt,
Mm.
there's always going to be
That
an
stigma.
expression of doubt over whether or not you are going to be on straight and narrow.
Mm.
Personally speaking, if I had taken a bribe in my old job,
Mm.
I'd have lost my job, I'd have faced criminal proceedings, and chances are I wouldn't be living in the house I'm in now. I wouldn't be enjoying employment, and my life would be a lot different. Now, I do see Tequila saying that barely covers you a night out, but I'd imagine now what it was one of his buddies probably wanted a yellow card in some element of the match or something
Yeah.
along those lines to get a bookie stake in across the line. But
Yeah.
like, the reality is, for 20 years since his 6-month ban, he's had a clean bill of health.
Yeah.
And I suppose everyone's capable of making a mistake.
Oh yeah.
You're human, I'm
Yeah.
human.
I
And
get that.
if you have seen the error of your ways, I think I think it'd be kind of ironic of any of us to judge the man and to say that he can't kind of put in a solid, unbiased performance in that Tottenham win.
Yeah, I mean, David Clark puts here, there's one thing to say, okay, the ref has done this time for match fixing, which 6 months is a joke. Exactly, I do agree with that, David. But allow him to be in charge of a major final. He was on VAR in 2019. I mean, the penalty he gave away should never have been a penalty in the first place. You can say that changed the course of that Champions League final. That was nowhere a penalty, Rebel. Even you can tell me that wasn't a penalty. So I'm very, very, very uneasy with the management choice, the referee choice, but it is what it is. We just have to get on with it now. I do understand if you do your time, you're allowed to redemption, I suppose, does come into it, but that it's not like it's not like he stole a car or something like that. He fixed. He was involved in match fixing.
Actually,
Which
just
it's a serious crime in itself. I mean, Wayne Bonner puts it here. He says, "Any match fixing to me should be a lifetime ban." In my opinion, it should be. I just don't get it. I don't just and €300. Uh, anyone, Colin says, anyone got his number? I want to put Bruno Fernandes first half. Hat-trick on. Oh, very funny, Colin. I think, yeah, Boris says, I think the prices have gone up a bit since 16 years ago. Yeah, it would be. Tequila says, if it's only €300, we could all chip in. Someone could start going from Colin. I'm gonna have fun with this. Why can't we have a ref who we've had against Bodo? He was the referee we had against Bodo was the best ref. I have to agree with Boris that I've seen this season. He was absolutely fantastic. So, what have you got here for us?
so this
Rebel?
is actually the story behind
Hmm.
19-year-old Zawars, or however you pronounce his surname, was banned for 6 months after admitting to taking €300 bribe from a more senior official in the game between that crowd and Wilder Bremen amateur. Today made also revealed that this ban was not known publicly until 2023, when a German outlet broke the story. At the time of the incident, Zawar was acting as an assistant referee, and given that he was operating in the lower leagues of German football, it was easier to keep the situation under wraps. While he received a relatively short suspension, the man who was behind the bribe was sentenced to more than 2 years in prison and given a lifetime ban. So basically, they're saying he was a junior associate to the whole situation.
Yeah.
But this is just an additional part that came off, as detailed in ESPN Dale Johnson's. Back in 2024, ahead of the Burnley's role officiating England's Euro 2024 semi-final against the Netherlands. He'd been allowed to continue refereeing since the incident 20 years ago, due to the fact that he had helped the German FA uncover the truth behind the scandal, and that the severity of his breach was a far more minor one in the grand scheme of things. So that's basically Dave Johnson's views on that and whatnot.
Yeah. Apparently, Tequila, Wayne, and Colin are offering this referee the swear jar money to get Bruno a hat trick. So I'm sure you will take that very much. But let's start with a little bit of history. Let's start with injury news, guys. These are the players that are out of tomorrow's game for Tottenham. We have Rudu Dragusin, Lucas Bergvall's out with his we've got Rudu Dragusin out with his knee. We've got Lucas Bergvall out with an ankle and foot injury. Deju Kulu, he's already had an op, so he's out for the season. Timo Werner we'll never see again. Never, ever see again. He's not even... Apparently, Ange's got hamstring. I looked into it. He's now got a thigh injury. So even at Tottenham, they can't even work up what's wrong with Timo. James Maddison, knee injury. James Maddison, for me, has now been put to a doubt. I don't know. I something funny about James Maddison for me. And, of course, Dean Scarlett is out with a groin, hip, pelvic injury. Now, guys, this is my predicted lineup for tomorrow night's game. We go the Vicario in goal. We got the Spanish Matador in Pedro Porro. We got the Argentinian Bulldog in Romero. We got the fastest defender in the West in Mickey van der Ven. We got the Italian Stallion in Yadoghi. We've got the balloon man Basuma. We've got Papa Papasar in that midfield, and also the Uruguayan general in that 10 role for me with Bentancur. And then the front three, we've got Captain Fantastic and Sonny. We've got Dom Solanke up front, and we've got the Welsh Dragon in Brennan Johnson. That 10 role. What do you think of that lineup? My predicted lineup, Rebel, for Tottenham tomorrow.
I think,
and also in the chat, give me what you think of that predicted lineup again. Let me know if you think that is the lineup that will start tomorrow. Big up to Mick Harmlock as well as come into the chat. Big up Mick. Hope you, the wife, are doing well. Rebel, what do you reckon to my predicted lineup?
Just quickly, I just had a quick look on the Maddison situation.
Yeah.
And unlike Manchester United, who have named their official squad, the Maddison one is based on sighting of him travelling with the squad. So we are yet to see Tottenham's official squad of players that they will be utilising their picks from. So that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on. As for your lineup, I think that's basically the strongest lineup that you have and the one that's going to win you the Europa League.
Yeah, David Clark's caught me out. I deliberately made a mistake. Would anyone notice it? And big up to you, David. I've got Son and Johnson on the wrong side.
Oopsies.
I know. No, I deliberately did that. Would anyone notice the mistake? But big up to you, David Clark. See, David Clark's sharp. He's sharp. But what do you think of that, though? What do you think of the number 10?
I think Solanke is going to hold up the ball and he's going to provide the link play. Johnson is due a big game for you. I think he's come under a lot of criticism from Tottenham fans since he's moved to
unfairly
to your club. But looking at that back line, Van der Ven, all he has to do is keep an eye on Højlund. And to be fair, I think you could mark Højlund at the moment, Dermot. We're essentially going to be starting with 10 men against you. But that defence against a toothless Manchester United attack is probably going to, at most, concede 1 goal to United. At most. The centre midfield is probably going to be the most interesting battle between the two squads, because I think that's where United is strongest in terms of its lineup. And obviously, you've got the Uruguayan general and 2 very accomplished defensive midfielders in, well, Basuma, maybe not as much as Papasar, but I think you'll get by with him.
Yeah.
I suppose the one narrative that doesn't escape me is that it could potentially be Son's last game in a Tottenham shirt.
I don't think so.
But it could be. And that's going to be a big motivation that he'll want to lift that jersey one last time, or lift that cup in that jersey, and basically say, well, my time here has built towards lifting this cup. I deliver this to you, Tottenham, and I hope that you build on this and have his legacy go out at the very top, lifting a trophy for Tottenham Hotspurs and remaining forever enshrined in your museum, on your halls, of being a winning Tottenham captain. But I suppose a bit like us, you do struggle creatively up front. We have talked before about how Sonny's best years are behind
Yeah.
him, but he's still Son. He's still capable, a bit like Cristiano Ronaldo, of producing that moment of magic. And you're never, ever, ever going to take him off if he's fit.
I don't think. Look, I don't think. Look, I know Basuma and Sarr don't play well together, but it's the only midfield we've got.
Who else is there?
I-
Just out of curiosity.
well, we've got who else got in that midfield tree? Well, Madison's injured, Bergville's injured, Kulu's injured, so that's 3 out already. So, do you know? I think that's a lineup that can win tomorrow night. I really do. I really, really do think that is a lineup that can win tomorrow night. Now, there may not be. I mean, we've got Wayne Bonner who says I go 4-5-1, 4-5-1, or 5-4-1. You could do that. Colin is saying defense is solid. The only slight issue maybe Benny at Cam, but it's more than good enough to beat a Poor United sign. Maybe not. But I couldn't think who'd have put in that 10 role. Do you put Sonny in there and then start with Odegaard then? Do you know, it is a very that Cam role. That who do you put in that Cam role? Do you put Sonny there and then put Odegaard and Johnson on the wing? Do you put Sonny there and put, say, Johnson and Matez Tell on the wing? Do you put Johnson? I keep saying put Johnson in number 10. Though I'll get laughed out of it.
Well, I suppose if you kind of go away from, I'm just kind of looking at your squad here, and assuming that we don't see any of the 3 main men that you mentioned, Bergville, Kula, and Madison. Technically speaking, you've only got 3 natural midfielders that can play centrally. Son, Mikey Moore, any of those players that you could be tempted to deploy there would be a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah,
now
we know that.
From a stability point of view, if you play Basuma, Sarr, and that back line, you're giving yourself a solid foundation, because we should be able to devour anything that Manchester United can come up with in terms of an attack. So then what you're really talking about is Bentancur creative enough to unlock the 3 men in front of him?
Yeah. See, I like this from Colin. I put Solanke in the 10, put Sonny up front, and Odegaard in the right. I agree with that as well. I think that's the way he could go. Sonny isn't a striker though, but that for me, Solanke's always dropping deep anyway.
I see the logic in that.
I do see the logic in that, actually. Big up that for me. I mean, Wayne's also gone with Johnson, Tell, or perhaps Odegaard's a 10 for me. I've always said about putting Brendan Johnson at number 10, but everyone laughs me out of it. I think Brendan Johnson can do a job as a 10. I've been saying that quite consistently this season, but I get laughed out of it because I get told you don't know what you're talking about. Johnson's this, Johnson's that. Johnson's our club top goal scorer. He's come in and he's done the job. And I still think Johnson could do that. He could play in the number 10 role. David Clark says, I would play Bentancur in the 10 role because he's more creative than the other two midfielders. He's excellent with his head. And see, that again, David, is a very good point. Bentancur has got that talent to do that. He has played there, I think, for Uruguay in that sort of more creative role. But our problems have, and this comes here from, I'll let you read that name out because I have not got a clue.
Varane Euro, basically,
Yeah.
saying there's not enough creativity in the midfield. He's saying that your three midfielders there are obviously the ones that
Yeah.
are fit are the less creative. Obviously,
Well,
your three main men are.
I take
Bergvall
he's a
and-
Man United fan, so big up to you. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. I'm very much welcome if you're a Man United fan. Welcome. Get your thoughts in. Let's see what you think for tomorrow night. But this is now Column's Man United 11. So I let you read out the Man United, his predicted lineup.
Before I do go to that, I'm going to do the same for United after. This is where I think we could end up with a bore fest.
Yeah.
Brennan Johnson is Spurs' top goal scorer this season with 11 goals.
Yeah.
11. Barely in double digits. Matters 9, Solanke 8, Kula 7, Son 7, and then you're going down to 4s and 3s. There's going to be a similar and even more worrying
Oh, did I do it wrong?
goal situation for United, but I just wanted to point that out. So, looking at this now, so it's obviously going to be Onana can't save goal and goal.
Can I just say very quickly, it is the wrong formation.
I'm
Colin
going to
did
check
say,
it for you on the fly.
yeah. The Colin did send it over to me, and what he sent it was what the formation did you want me to put that as, Colin? Because
I can do it on the fly for you anyway.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Euro, Maguire, and Mazraoui as your back three.
Yeah.
With Dorgu and Dalot operating on the wings.
Mm.
Then you're going to have Casemiro and Ugarte deep with Bruno in the 10. And then Ahmad and Zerk. Sorry. Actually, I think he's putting Bruno on the wing. So, you see?
Yeah, I think I've got that right.
So, so Casemiro is going to be playing where Dalot's meant to be, with Ugarte beside him. And then, so you're going to have Bruno and Ahmed behind Xerxes. So it's going to be a 3 with the 2 wing backs slightly more advanced. Casemiro Ugarte with Bruno and Ahmed, and then Xerxes leading the line.
Can I actually say he sent it to me as how he sent it over was a 4-1-2-3.
Yeah, it's 3-4-2-1.
That's how he sent it. Yeah, that's how he sent it over to me as a 4-1-2-3. Now, I only put on there what he sent over. I don't know Man United, so that's what I assume. I'll send you over that. I'll forward it to you, Kev, so you can see for yourself. But that's, I mean, anyone could. That's what he sent over. So I'm not a Man United fan. Oh, he was okay. Fair enough. It goes no Bruno and Fernandez, Bruno Ahmed 10s, Giant 68 said, I think if Spurs get the lead, I think Dancer will come on. We change it to the 5, and the back, and they will hold on to the lead. They will do. Column, now what you on about? Anana's clearly you're a striker. I wish these pop-ups start coming on. I was typing on my phone quickly at work. Sorry, man. I apologize. My fault. Now, we have played you once before in Europe, all the way back in 63-64 in the second round of the Cup Winners' Cup, because Tottenham won it the previous year, 62-63. We beat you 2-0 at White Hart Lane, but you beat us 4-2 away at Old Trafford. You beat us 4-3 on aggregate over the 2 games back in the 60s. That's the only time we have played each other in Europe. So we've got 1 win on 1 loss.
Yeah. Look, as much as I love delving into the annals of history, the salient facts for me this year are 3 games, no wins, and clean sweep on the board. Is basic. We're looking at a whitewash. If
Now,
um,
okay, you two are so uncomfortable about your team winning tomorrow. Tottenham actually have done well in Europe because we won the Conference Cup in '63. We beat Atletico Madrid in the final in Rotterdam 5-1. In '72, we won the first ever UEFA Cup by beating Wolves 3-2 over 2 legs. We won 2-1 at home, drew 1-1. We beat them 2-1 at Monolou, drew 1-1 with them at White Hart Lane. In '74, it was our first ever major European final loss, where we drew 2-1 final at White Hart Lane, and we lost 2-0 away. That was the night really our fans went mad, and Bill Nick nearly resigned. 6 months later, Bill Nick did resign as Tottenham manager. And of course, in 1984, we drew 1-1 at home away with Anderlecht, drew 1-1 at home at White Hart Lane, but with 2-2, but we won 4-3 on penalties to win our second UEFA Cup triumph. Of course, we were in the 2019 Champions League final, where we lost 2-0 to Liverpool in Madrid. And then 2025, we're back in Spain. We're back in Bilbao for the Europa League final. If you look at the history, Kev, between our two clubs in Europe, Tottenham been the first team to win a European trophy, the first British side to win 2 European trophies. You got Man United with the Busby Babes winning '68, 10 years probably after the Munich air crash. You've won the Conference Cup in '91 with Sir Alex Ferguson, and then you won the UEFA Cup with Mourinho. How much is it important that, if you look at Chelsea also in the Champions League, in the Conference League final, but how important is it that English clubs do dominate Europe, don't they? If you look back through the years, in the early '80s, Liverpool, Villa, Forest were winning regular Champions Leagues or the European Cup back then. We've won the UEFA Cup twice. We've won the Conference Cup. You've won 3 European trophies. English clubs have always been quite dominant in Europe. Are you surprised to get another All Premier League final again? Because I'm really not that surprised.
I'm going to disagree with you slightly in terms of English club dominance, because the most successful club in Europe is Real Madrid.
Yeah, but I mean, but the point I'm making is, you look at what English clubs have done. I know Real Madrid's the most successful. I'm not talking there. I'm talking about specifically English clubs in Europe.
Well,
We have been quite, apart from Real Madrid, you look at the late '70s, early '80s, English clubs were winning the European Cup every season.
well,
United won the first European trophy when we went back into Europe in '91, beating Barcelona, I think, in the Cup Winners' Cup. Do you know, you've won a couple of Europe Champions Leagues. English clubs seem to be quite successful in Europe, but I know Madrid have won the most. But what do you put that down to?
It's down to the structure of the Premier League and the stall that they set when they created the Premier League. The financial advantage that the product generated has long been the topic of discussion on the continent. And outside of the major clubs, a lot of the European equivalents, once you go beyond maybe the best 2 or 3 teams in a given European league, struggle to compete financially. Like, when you look at the bottom team, and I'm talking about the bottom team in the Premier League a couple of seasons ago, they had a bigger spending power than Barcelona. Barcelona. Like, that is crazy, but it's kind of a reality that we're looking at because of the way the Premier League kind of set clubs up for success. Now, that's slowly going to come back and change, but as long as the current structures remain in terms of Europe and qualifying, you're probably going to have 5 to 6 English teams in the Champions League every year, which is crazy, considering the Champions League used to be 3 teams from England, then it became 4, Then we got
Now
the
it's
5th
5.
place. And because one of the 2 English clubs is guaranteed to win tomorrow, Tottenham, there's going to be a
That'd be
6th.
16.
That'd be
Is
a
that
6th.
6?
That'd
Yeah.
be number 6, yeah, in the Champions League. And that's unprecedented. You mentioned about Europa Leagues, and actually, coincidentally, I just had a quick look. Manchester United, their history since it became the Europa League, in the 11-12 season, round of 16, the 15-16 season, round of 16, the 16-17 season, that was the year that Mourinho won against Ajax, semi-finals in 1920 against Sevilla, the final against Villarreal in 2021, and then Sevilla knocked us out again in 22-23. But the reason why the English clubs are so successful is down to the money that their league has generated.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we look in the UEFA Cup and Europa League alone, we've 17 seasons we've spent in the second tier of European football. We've won it twice. We've played a total 167 times. We've 96 wins, 40 draws, 31 defeats. We've scored 342 goals and 147 plus 195. We've won it twice. Of course, in 72 and 84. But if you look overall, I mean, Arlie, you said there about Manchester United, right? And we reached the final in 72. We reached the final, we reached semi-final in 73, reached the final again in 74. 84, of course, we won it. 85, we reached the quarterfinals, losing to Real Madrid, only 1-0, by the way. And then after that, then it's been second round, quarterfinals, round of 16, round of 32. Then we're in the Champions League for a while. We didn't even get out of the group stages in 2011, 2012. We reached quarterfinals in 2013, 2014, round of 16, 2015, round of 32, 2015, 16, round of 16. Round of 32, and then we're in the Champions League then for a few years. Round of 16 in 2021, and of course this year we've reached the final. So really, we haven't had this much of a good run since '84 when we beat. But how do you think? Have you liked the new Europa League the way that it's been run this year with the league phase and that? What have you thought of it? I've
Like,
enjoyed it, if I'm being honest.
as a product, I suppose the one small, tiny gripe that I have is the number of games for the small number of eliminations that take place. I think
Yeah.
that is the one tiny little. I think as a concept that the group stage works. The fact that there's no parachuting works.
Yeah.
But a bit like with my problem with the GAA group phase that we're doing at the moment in the football, there's a lot of games for very few eliminations.
Yeah.
What the sweet spot is it 8? Is it the top 8 go straight to a quarterfinal? But how does that? Do you add a couple of extra group games to balance out the fact that you're getting rid of a couple of rounds? Like, I'm not sure what the solution is, but I think as a concept it works, but it probably needs a few small, tiny tweaks.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just looking, right. So I'm just give us just give us 2 minutes. Right. Sorry. And I've only worked this out right. So we actually are dual win tomorrow night, if you're going by logic, right? 72 we won, 74 we lost, 84 we won, 2019 we lost. So by law of average, 2025 we should win.
There's no average. You don't need the averages. You just are going to win.
Because we won our first 2 European finals back to back. Then we lost in 74, won in 84, lost in 2019. So we're due to win tomorrow night.
By the way, here's just the figures for you.
Yeah.
24 of the 36 games in the group stage remained active following the end of the group stage.
That is. I mean, is it to stop the Super League? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, but I get doing the group stage, right? But the way I look at this,
Mm.
why not play 10 group games, but eliminate a few more?
Yeah, you could do. I agree. Colin puts here top 6 automatic qualify. Then 7, 8, 9, 10 play a 2-leg affairs to join the 6.
Yep. That,
Doesn't make sense, does it?
so, like, if you were to go that way, right? Top 6
Yeah.
would have been Lazio, Athletic Club, United, Spurs, Frankfurt, Lyon, who were the best clubs in
Yeah.
Europe this season. Then you would have had Olympiacos, Rangers, Bodo Glimt,
Mhm.
Anderlecht playing in the 2-legged affair to get to your quarterfinal, and that
Yeah.
would have been a spectacle. Like, that being said, Sociedad, Ajax, a few big teams would have been gone. Roma, but
Yeah.
I think it would have focused the mind on those group games more, because all of a sudden people are going, hang on a second, if we're not top 10 at the very least, our European season is done.
Well, I've just got a little bit of breaking news before we get to David Clark's chat, and we get our score predictions for tomorrow night, and you in the chat as well. So get involved, get your score predictions in. Romero will deal with his future after the final. There has been no meeting. So that is the latest on Romero. There's been no meeting. Anything you've read about Romero meeting, it's a load of cobblers. He will just deal with his future after that final, which means if we win the Europa League and get Champions League football, then he's staying. He, that's what all players want. But look, David Clark could end up in the Europa League thing. He says the best thing about the Europa League this season is the fact those teams in the Champions League, I agree with this, by the way, who totally failed, didn't have a get out of jail free card dropping it. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. So, guys, get your score predictions. Column's gone for 4-1 to Spurs. This is all reverse psychology. I know it is. I all know it is. All I know it is. Big up to Lee Carrick. Big up, Lee. It says, evening, gents. I can't stay, but I will say this: F the Champions League. Bring back the Cup Winners' Cup. Yeah, I agree as well. Bring back the European Cup, UEFA Cup, and the Cup Winners' Cup. That's what you want to bring back. What do you... Right. A question to you, right? You've got to say in a few words why Manchester United will win tomorrow.
That's going to be difficult.
If you could sum up one word, why Manchester United will win tomorrow.
I can't, because I don't believe we will. Manchester United.
Stop this. Just stop, please, with this mind game. Just come out with it. Just put your Man United hat on.
Here's the logic. 3 games we have played against Ange Postecoglou, and we've lost all 3.
Yeah, but
Ange
we haven't
Postecoglou
scored.
last
Hang on. We haven't scored in our last 2 matches. Neither of you. We've lost our last 2 games. Neither of you. So I don't know where you're getting this confidence that because we've beaten you 3 times, law of averages, that means you're going to beat us.
Well, if you also look at last season, Manchester United did not even get a draw against Ange Postecoglou. We have never even drawn with you. I'm looking at that squad, and I'm looking at the performance that we've rendered in league before the second leg of the semi-final, and after the second leg of the semi-final, and there's no evidence, looking at that Manchester United squad, that Manchester United are going to walk up the steps and lift that Europa League Cup. It just is implausible.
I think you two are playing a very reverse psychology here. I honestly do. I think you two are playing this. You two are playing this perfectly. I reckon you two have got together And they said, right, let's do reverse psychology on Dermo. Let's really confuse the fuck out of him, confuse him to hell, and get him so turning around the corners that he doesn't know which way. I cannot believe you're not backing your team to win.
It's not that we're not backing our team. It's that the evidence in front of our eyes
So then
is
what? Let me ask you a serious question then. All right. All the joking aside, what is it? Is it the manager? Is it the players? Is it your season? What's not giving you the confidence where I have confidence we can go to win tomorrow? We've had a shit season. We've
I
we've
tell
had we've lost 21 games this season in the Premier League. We have no right to be in a Europa League final. We have no right to be going to a Champions League final, into the Champions League. But I'm back at my team all the way because I support Tottenham Hotspur. We're going to win tomorrow. And we've been absolutely dog crap.
and here's the
So,
reason why, the difference. If we
yeah,
were playing a team from any of the other leagues, I'd have given us a fair shot at it.
yeah.
We're playing an English side. So the bite and the swagger that we've had in Europe goes out the window because it's basically a domestic game now. It's not a team from Spain, France, Germany, Italy. It's none of the other leagues' teams where they don't know us inside out. They haven't watched us all season and seen our calamity that we've been doing in the league. We're playing the English side. We're playing a side that, despite their problems like us, know they can beat us. That is not in the heads of those Manchester United players. They do not know, unlike in the past, that they can beat Spurs.
So is it a question, right, of we know the Spurs players are behind Ange Postecoglou? No matter what anyone says, them players have not thrown that manager under a bus. Are you telling me them Man United players are not behind Amaran then?
I don't believe that's the case either. I think it's psychology. I think that team has gone out, has been beaten by Spurs, not once, not twice, but 3 times this season. Even if they're 110% behind the manager, that plays on the back of your psyche. I used to play Gaelic football,
Yeah,
and
we both did, yes. So I know what
there
you're
was
going
teams
with.
that I
Yeah.
knew that we could beat before we
Yeah.
even got the first ball thrown up. It didn't matter who our manager was. We just had that built into us. In the past, there was the Alex Ferguson, it's only Spurs.
Mm.
And that was because we had what you have now. We were in your heads.
Mm.
And you done everything possible to play into that narrative. You now wear that shoe.
Yeah, but isn't there a narrative that it could go against us tomorrow night as well?
Do you know? Chances are, if Manchester United win that Europa League, I expect that we'll be hearing from Cullum that he's been elected the new Prime Minister at 10 Downing Street. I will be seeking election to the Rs.
As our new Taoiseach.
No, I probably look for Michael D's position there.
Oh, you're going for the president, are you? You're going for the presidency, are you? Who are you going to
it-
run up against? Bertie Ahern and all them mob.
Yeah, like the reality is, the evidence on this season's results has you with a distinct psychological advantage. It has
So-
nothing to do with managerial, whether players are behind their managers or not. You have, over the course of a suite of games, put whether it's an illusion of the fact that we can't beat you, or whether it's any other reason, you put that wall in front of them, and they are like a 3'4" small man trying to look in to Crow Park with a 6-foot wall in front of him.
Yeah. I just want to ask you a very good question. What's your take on 15,000 ticketless Spurs fans going over to the to Bilbao, and only 2,000 ticketless Manchester United fans going over? No,
Number
look, you've got
one,
the fans that got tickets. They're getting into the ground. I think it's 15 grand each. And another thing as well I want to bring up, UEFA are absolutely. I tell you, I'm disgusted by this. I'm a disabled person myself, right? I walk with a walking stick. I try not to because of my back, but I do. I have to. I do have a wheelchair. If I do actually have a wheelchair, as and when I need it, I have to sleep in the hospital bed because of my back. So I'm disabled. But I try not to let it, stop me from going to the game I love. But UEFA have short sold disabled tickets to disabled people. Their tickets have gone to corporate bigwigs. I mean, both clubs have been I read today Tottenham and Man United have both complained to UEFA over this. Should there be done more for disabled people to get in to watch this game tomorrow night? Should UEFA say, do you know what? Here you go. There's 300 tickets for your disabled Tottenham and 300 tickets for you disabled Man United for people in wheelchairs or people that need carers and things like this.
I think,
And it's all gone to corporate. I don't like the corporate side of the game.
Yeah, the corporate element is always something that's a bugbear. But when you look at the major European finals, unfortunately, they're always going to pander to these big corporations in terms of giving them corporate boxes and whatnot. In terms of the disabled tickets, I suppose you have to look at what way the ground is developed. I think Spurs have a fairly impressive selection of disabled spots where they can accommodate wheelchair users and whatnot. But it
so
depends
does Old Trafford as well, by the way. Old Trafford has an impressive spot for disabled people as well, to be fair to them.
Yeah, and credit where it's due, but you'd wonder whether it's a case of, was it Athletic didn't have them, or is it that those spaces were gazumped? And we probably need to get to the bottom of that. In terms of the 17,000 fans that travel without a ticket, regardless of their capability, I think the reason why you're seeing 15,000 Tottenham fans travel is you've been so starved
of success
and maligned by a particular fan base in London that has won absolutely sweet FA this season. But anyway, you are going over there because the FOMO that would take place if you had the readies to be able to do it, of not being in the city where you go up the steps, lift yonder European trophy, and you're not there to enjoy the night that is after, would be excruciating for people that have the financial capacity to be able to do it. And as Colin says, more food to the 17,000 people that are wasting their money. They're probably 17,000 of the richest people in England that are probably able to do it. And
I'd say so.
Like, they're there to take in the atmosphere of a European night. Some of them will probably pay stupid money off somebody to take their ticket from them, and there'll be some ordinary Joe Soap, that won a ballot to get their ticket at face value, that will take the money and kind of go, I can enjoy my weekend here in Bilbao and take in the atmosphere and make a few quid to go along with it.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. Right, tomorrow night, score prediction. What are you going for?
3-0 Spurs.
Seriously.
At the minimum, Spurs by 2.
Big up to don't say we don't bring up people. Big up to Samuel Merck Ingram. He says Tottenham Hotspur will always be a dusty football club. Hopefully Manchester United thrash Tottenham 9-0 in the Europa League final.
No chance.
No chance. But look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. You're welcome. Just hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. Come in and give us a bit more of of your football knowledge. I'm sure we would love you. Join us tomorrow as we beat Manchester United and lift that European trophy. I am going for a 3-0 win tomorrow night. That's my score prediction. Going for 3-0 tomorrow night. 3-1, no idea who. Jazz, you're going for Tottenham 3-1. Of course you want. And Column's going 4-1 Spurs Rebel. If we win 4-1, Column, right? If we win 4-1, do you remember the bet we had as a channel? Right? Remember the bet you made? If we win, we will give you 100. We will pay €100 to your charity. And then if you win, you do the same for us. So I remember the bet. Samuel goes, Ange Postecoglou is the Australian Andre Villas-Boas. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Did you get another shrimp in the barbie?
Yeah, another shrimp on the barbie.
Actually, I do have a small bit of news from Fabrizio that came out.
Okay, well, can I go 3-1 Palace right now? And well done the Palace by winning the FA Cup, by the way. I've been predicting scores spot on recently. You have been actually. Go on. What's Fabrizio saying? That Ange has signed a new 2-year contract.
So it's the Here We Go podcast that he done on Manchester United and Spurs.
Yeah.
Cunha wants United regardless of Champions League. That's pretty much done. Spurs trying to find a solution to keep Tell. Gyökeres remains on shortlist. And Dibbling, Eze, and more. So obviously, they're players that possibly Spurs or United could be courting.
Yeah.
Which ones he does not say.
I think Eze's coming to Spurs, personally. But look, Rebel, thank you so much for joining me. Really enjoyed it. I know we're going to see for the build up for tomorrow night's game, you and Colin, then you're going to go off and do your own show, and then you're coming back to us. Guys, we're on tomorrow from 7 with Before the Whistle. Then we're on at 10 to 8 with the watch along. And then we will be on with Final Score. Whatever time that is on, we're on. And we're on. If we win, we're streaming until one of us falls asleep. That is a guarantee. We've got Joe Blogs.
Congrats to Tottenham on winning.
We haven't won yet. Don't jinx it, you feckers. That 3 in the midfield hasn't worked in league now, I know, Joe, but look, we have to see what happens. Jasmine, the loser of this game is going to struggle to some of the art. And very quickly on Ange Postecoglou and the Man United manager, just one question on them. Where do you see Ange going? Say if you win, what happens to Ange?
Well, there's a big job available in Ajax.
Mm.
I could definitely see him possibly becoming a top candidate for them all of a sudden. There's going to be other jobs in England that could possibly fall his way a month or two into the season, depending on if he wants to kind of hold his powder. Ange Postecoglou is going to want to get back into the game as fast as possible if Tottenham part ways with him. There's no doubt about it. And he's going to want to do basically what a former manager of yours did with Forest and kind of show, well, actually, I am a good manager. What happened at Spurs wasn't my fault. And here's
if
why.
If he wins tomorrow?
It depends solely then on takeover. Because no matter what, it's going to come down to the new owners to make a decision of whether they want to bring in their own man. Yeah. I think if you have a takeover, he's gone.
Yeah.
Because they'll want to just have a clean broom and sweep clean. If you don't have a takeover, he remains if he wins the Europa League.
Yeah. And Amaron?
Amaron has got one player signed since he's arrived. He's had 0.5 of a season. He did not want to take the job at this point mid-season because of the fact that he could not set up the team. As Colin pointed out, there's a lot of players that don't have the IQ to play the system that Amaran has been so successful with. The one that tore apart Manchester City in the Champions League when he played them with Sporting Lisbon. The reality of the situation is Amaran's job will either be made easier or dramatically more difficult, as financially speaking, by whether or not we proceed to Champions League football. We're not going to proceed to Champions League football, so we have to look at the alternative. That means that we will be looking and fighting with West Ham, Everton, all these teams for their targets, because the bigger names are going to first want to play for Arsenal and Liverpool and City, then Chelsea, then Villa and Spurs, because guess what? Newcastle and Spurs, because they're the Champions League teams in that scenario. So Manchester United, financially speaking, could be in a very difficult position next Christmas, depending on sales, if we fail, and probably will fail, to win Europa League tomorrow.
Yeah.
Manchester United has been papering over financial cracks for years.
Yeah, well, look, it's so important for both clubs, isn't it? But Rebel, thank you so much for joining me. Guys, we are back tomorrow at 7 before the whistle. We're going to be on for the watch along. And then if Tottenham win the Europa League, we're on to one of us drops. We will party like it's 1999. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a good game tomorrow. As I said, I'm going for a 3-0 win. I'm not doing anything less. But Rebel, thank you so much for joining me. Where can people find you, sir?
Well, myself and Colm do need to do some back of house tidy up. So, Man United news coming soon is all I'll say on that front. And we will keep you posted on that. But in the interim, you will find me here depressed and completely emotionally drained tomorrow following our loss to Tottenham Hotspur. I will spend 10 minutes congratulating them once again before going to bed and crying myself to sleep.
And we all are. Tomorrow night, Spurs are in all white. Lily whites under the lights. All I'm going to say, come on, you Spurs. We're going to win tomorrow night. Let's bring that trophy home. And let's put this voodoo to bed and Tottenham win a trophy. Come on.
Eyes on the prize.